Hey folks, today we're continuing our Space Haven YouTube/Twitch tutorial series. Let's get started. So in real lifetime, it's been a couple of weeks since I played, because I pre-recorded a couple of sessions. So let's try to figure out where we left off here. We have the PCS daughter Ariel currently being salvaged. We're taking on board a bunch of scrap. In terms of research, we're working on advanced nutrition to deal with our protein deficiency eventually. We're producing a little bit of food, but not much, and we're building an additional hyperdrive. Let's fast forward since it looks like our crew is asleep. And we also need to build a second shuttle as soon as we have an electronics component available, which we can probably produce from the recycler. Tech scrap. Looks like we already have some tech scrap in queue. That's good. Let's check our fundamentals here. Hyperium's okay. Our Energium is okay-ish. So we have 20 energy rods, and we're using energy rods now. And our water is 14, and we have 9 ice, so that's plenty. So we're getting into the phase of the game now where we can focus on manufacturing trade goods and getting a profit, and we can start to expand our ship's capabilities and think about what we want to do. The main thing that's threatening our crew still is the lack of protein from meat. So we could think about eating this human meat if we really wanted to. Let's actually go to our nutrition here. So we can adjust the percentages of the different nutrients that we're getting in each meal for our crew here. So each food has a particular value. So fruits mostly give carbs and vitamins. Vegetables give a lot of carbs and a little bit of vitamins. Meat gives a lot of protein, and so on. Since we don't have any meat available, we're going to supplement with... I'm just going to try putting like 1% human meat in, just so we get just enough protein for our crew, because right now we're getting less than what we actually want. The other thing we could do, seeds and nuts give a little bit of protein, so we could think about upping our seed and nut intake. But, I mean, that's almost... Let's see. So we go to 12% from 7%, so we're almost doubling our seeds and nuts intake. I think we're going to use like a tiny bit of human meat in, so the crew isn't too impacted. So just want to get some protein in, you guys. Don't worry about it. It's fine. So probably by tomorrow we should see some of these debuffs clearing up, and I think there is a debuff that's like 8 human meat, but at least that won't cause them to be malnourished and eventually die. Okay, we're short on hull blocks here, so we're going to need to produce some hull scrap in order to finish this last guy here. So we're going to produce one, and I think we're actually going to produce a couple extra hull blocks. Hopefully we have enough scrap for that. This should be at least enough to finish the hyperdrive. We also have to keep in mind we're in a radiation sector, so we don't want to hang out here too long, because the energy used by our thermal regulators to control the heat is going to eventually drain all of our energy quickly. How are we doing on salvage? So we're actually done with soft scrap and tech scrap. We still have a little bit of energy and hull scrap to pick up. I think we're going to wait around to do that, because we're pretty much low on all the different scrap types. We have enough energy scrap now that we can start, when we're done with this hull production, we can start making another unit of energy crystal, which costs 6, roughly. We've almost got our advanced nutrition online, so meat will be the next step. We notice our unit of meat is gone, so it looks like the crew... Our unit of human meat is gone, so it looks like the crew did incorporate it into the kitchen supplies. So So we look at our overview here, we can see that we have actually used up all the human meat already. That's okay. So we could think about putting in some monster meat. I'm just curious. Let's see if we can eat the meat of a human being. See, that's only a -5 debuff, so definitely not as bad as starving to death. Let's go ahead and modify this, and we're going to start using monster meat instead to supplement our nutrition. Okay, we got our one whole block done. Are we done with salvage? We are. Okay. So we're ready to leave the sector and hopefully get out of the radiation zone here. Now, I think the last time we were traveling, we were heading towards the alien sector. We're going to want to also... I think... Do we have an item fabricator yet? Let's see. We do have an item fabricator, so we have a second shuttle constructed in our other shuttle bay here, which means we can start arming away teams and preparing to do boarding actions. So we want to like have a good chance of winning a boarding action without taking losses. We want about like 8 guys that have weapons and have a low surrender chance. So we're going to start working on that. Let's make sure that we have some steel plates and some plastic, which we need to manufacture weapons. And assault rifles are really good because they have an accuracy bonus. So we're going to start manufacturing those. Now we've only got one set of steel plates, so we're just going to manufacture one assault rifle for now. That's going to help out our away team. The rifles and stuff can also be great as trade goods. They're a little bit expensive to produce because... Just say they're not... Hold on. Let me figure out where my ship is here. There we go. Okay, so I'm clicking on these, by the way, to jump back and forth between the different solar systems within this larger system. Let's see which things we've explored already. It looks like we haven't done this area yet, and I don't think we're quite ready for the alien sector because we have to manufacture weapons and arm our crew first. So for that reason, I'm going to travel up this way. Am I? Oh, there we go. Okay, there's another bubble over here. So let's see what's up here. Oh, we got some energy. This is a great stop for us. Slaver's Guild ship. Yeah, we're not quite ready to fight them yet. So we're going to park way over here. And we're going to immediately prepare for another hyperspace jump. Okay, we got another energy thing over here, and there's also an outpost we can trade with. Let's try to get the civilians to stay. No, they didn't want to stay. But we can still trade with the outpost. I'm going to stick halfway in between here because I want to be close enough to trade with the outpost in an efficient manner. Okay. And let's collect all that delicious energy. And let's see what we have from the Deckard 2. So how much carbon do we have? We have 17 carbon, so we could afford to sell a couple plastic units. We're getting pretty good prices from plastic from these guys, and these guys have more carbon, so let's actually sell as much plastic as we can and pick up the carbon in exchange. Yeah, so this is a really good trade for us. We could think about picking up some Hyperium crystals, but I don't think we strictly need to right now. Is there anything else that we want to sell in order to get a profit? We have lots of chemicals, so we can think about selling some of our chemicals here to get another. So now we're going from, notice we got like 400 credits right now. When we're done with these transactions, we're going to have like 3,000 credits. So we'll be in much better shape at the end as a result of this. We can think about buying some other resources that we need. We have infra scrap, so we don't need to buy infra blocks. We don't have much tech scrap. We could think about buying like electronics components or metal refinery. I see that there's a military alliance ship coming into the sector, so I'm gonna wait and see what they have before I make any big purchases. I'm kind of um, looking for steel plates right now so that we can manufacture weapons, and I don't see any available at this station. Let's see if our weapon manufacturing is done, speaking of which. Looks like we did complete that assault rifle. Let's go ahead and make like 5 more as soon as the resources become available. And let's see if I can figure out which storage here is our armory. This one. Okay, so of our guys here, excluding the one that has a shotgun, who's the least accurate? It's gonna be Penny. Okay, so Penny is gonna be, as soon as she's finished this research, Penny is gonna be our next rifle wielder. I didn't mean to send them all over there. Oh well. Let me... Penny, here we go. Oh, so I'd selected the command group before I did that. That's why it sent them all over like that. There we go. Okay, so Penny now has a rifle. So we now have 2 armed guys on our first away team. You know, not counting the pistols as being really armed. Micrometeorites. Is it worth it to weather them? We still have 1 trade transaction going on, and we're going to make a big profit from that. So I think we are going to stick around for a minute. Let's close all our vents. How's our hull stability looking? Where's our hull stability? We've only got 1 hull stabilizer, so we've got to be careful about our ship's durability. If an enemy ship jumps into the sector after we've been hit by a meteor shower, then we could be in trouble. We know that there's an enemy ship in the vicinity. Oh, let's get everybody in their spacesuits. Can somebody work on this? Somebody's working on it. Okay. And let's have everybody work through the meteor shower. I thought I heard a second breach, but I didn't see where it was. Let's get our hyperdrives repaired as priority. So these power nodes have gone down, which disabled the hyperdrive. Let's do some micromanagement here to ensure that our power nodes are repaired quickly so we can get out of here if we need to. And as soon as we're done with the second trade transaction, we can leave the sector. We don't have to necessarily wait for the complete shower to finish. We have a fire. Okay, he's already putting it out. As soon as Alain's done fixing this power node, we're going to put him on the fire as well. Okay, the fire's out. That's good. I think we're kind of okay now. This power node got broken again. Honey, can you go fix that? It's taking them a long time to do the repairs for some reason. Maybe because they're working in spacesuits. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so we can take spacesuits off. We can set everybody back to their normal routine. Let's give them like an hour to eat. And let's trade with a keep on keeping on. And they've got lots of energy, which is nice for us. I think we're gonna sell this 1 pistol that we're not using anymore. We have the option to buy tech blocks, but we have 16 already. We could buy a little bit of protein if we needed to, but I don't think we're that hard up for resources because meat is very expensive. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and buy... I don't think we want to buy 10 of these. I think we want to buy like 6. That'll be enough to tide us over for quite a while until we're able to sell more stuff and get more profit. Let's go ahead and sell some more chemicals as well. Let's open all our vents again now that we've dealt with the breaches and everything. We still have a power node that's queued for repair, but it's not in a critical area, so we can let our crew fix that as part of their normal job rotation. So now the question I'm wondering about is, do we want to buy more carbon? It's cheap, and it produces expensive trade goods, so I'm thinking that the answer is yes. Let's go ahead and do that. We're just going to blow all of our money here on carbon, just about. Or half of it, anyway. Let's check what our production for plastic threshold is at 7. That's good. And we're out of hull scrap, it looks like. Do we have a half? I'm gonna leave those things queued because we have... Why is there a fire? Somebody set the industry section on fire. Can you guys all fight the fire? Let's try to get rid of this quickly. It's not too much trouble. There we go. Lenny's exhausted. Okay, he's better now. He was just having some issues with the smoke from that fire, I think. So as soon as this trade, let's fast forward. Oops, wrong button. As soon as this trade is done, I think we're good to leave the sector. One other thing I want to consider once we have more hull blocks, which we don't have right now, is to build a second hull stabilizer, maybe a third. Okay, we got advanced nutrition, which means we're on the path to artificial meat, so pretty soon we'll have stable nutrition for our crew. But in the meantime, we're at least getting a % increase to our grow bed productivity, so that's pretty nice. There's a lot of monster corpses here. The other thing we could do if we were desperate for protein is we could build an autopsy table, but that also requires some research. That would lead us to medical beds, though, which would enable us to do away missions without worrying so much about losing crew members. Okay, I think we're done in this sector. Let's see. Okay, we're back here. We don't see any pirates this time. Try to trade with the civilians, who I don't think we've traded with yet, and pick up some energy here as well. Ooh, 6 energy. This is a good find for us. We'll pick up these as well while we're here. What do these guys have? Any steel plates? They have no steel plates. They have a bunch of ice. We could think about buying a couple units because it's pretty cheap. In fact, let's just go ahead and buy 10 units so I don't have to worry about water for a while. And then we're going to sell some plastic to offset the cost and make a little bit of profit. And yeah, that's a good deal. We're still lacking hull blocks, though. And we're still lacking steel plates. So I think after we get the artificial meat, the next thing will be to go into the manufacturing tree, because one of the first things in the tree is the ability to produce steel plates from a metal refinery. So once we get that, then we'll be able to start really cranking out weapons. None of these things produce steel plates, do they? No. So steel plates are a relatively rare commodity, I would say, because most trade goods are like either raw materials or finished goods. They're not super expensive usually, but they're not very common as trade goods available from other ships, much like the chemicals, because they're like an intermediate product. Okay, we should be ready to leave the sector. We could pick up some base metals here and some noble metals, but we don't necessarily need to right now. We might do that later. We have a derelict ship here, but there's a Slaver's Guild ship in the sector, so what we're going to do is we're going to wait in hyperspace for a couple turns and see if we can get him to move to another area. Come on, buddy. It's pretty much random whether or not they move each turn. So we just have to wait long enough until we get that roll that we want. There he goes. Now he's actually coming towards us. So we can cross over his path without encountering him by just going to this other sector that he's coming from. We'll pass, like, ships in the night. Okay. So here we have the Stelius. Let's put our new assault rifle to the test. Now we could send a second shuttle here, but we don't have a second away team really available. Let's see if we have any candidates for the second away team. So Eden could be an away team member. Lauren is a pretty good away team member. Actually, we should definitely put Lauren on one of the away teams, because he's a psychopath and is likely to cause accidents. Let's take a look at Lauren's skills real quick and make sure Lauren's not doing anything dangerous. Lauren is mining, which is okay, and doing logistics, which is okay. We're not going to allow Lauren to do industry tasks at all, because he's just going to start fires all over the place. Same thing for construction and maintenance, I think. And botany. Here we go. Okay, so Lauren's going to be a member of our away team. Anand can also be an away team member. And let's give these two... We don't have any pistols, do we? I think we sold all of our extras. Yeah. We could check these other storages and see if there's any... Well, actually, let me just check the overall inventory here. No, we don't have any pistols, so we're going to leave them... It could be worth bringing them anyway, because if one of our guys gets knocked unconscious, they could pick up the weapon that the other guy dropped. But I don't think we necessarily need to do that at this stage of the game. Let's see if we can get by with only 4 people. Okay, we don't see immediate evidence of a nest here. I'm seeing aliens, but I don't see the creep, which indicates that there may not be eggs on board, which would be good for us. If somebody opened this door. Nothing there. Okay. Nice. Okay. We saw another alien flicker briefly in the back there somewhere, so we know that we have more friends coming. Let's go ahead and meet him in here if we can. No, we can be there. That's fine. Alright. We'll back up a little bit. Face that door. There we go. Okay, so we just have to finish exploring the ship now, hopefully, at this point. Oh, hello. Let's slow down a little bit here, just for a second. These guys are serious business. I don't know where he came from. I didn't see anyone. I didn't see one of those on the ship anywhere. I guess he was floating around in one of these little side rooms in a place that we didn't see. Alright. Anyway, we cleared that ship. So, good job, away team. Let's pick up this random stuff that we have here. It looks like mostly food. And let's look at our scrap levels. We don't necessarily need to grab infoscrap, but we'll pick up whatever we incidentally dismantle as part of dismantling other stuff. And I think we basically need every other kind of scrap, so let me go ahead and scoop all that up. I'm waiting for a food delivery order. It's going to be here in a few minutes, so I'll have to pause a little bit when it gets here. As soon as we get more hull scrap on board, which we have now, we're going to start producing more hull blocks. We've got 2 in the queue already. Let's see if we can manage another full block once the salvage is done. So we could go for another hull stabilizer. We could also make some more room that we could use for like grow beds, for example. I think while we're waiting for the salvage operation here, let's do a little bit of sketching and figure out sort of a nice hull shape. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to measure the whole grid here. This is 54 units across, so we're going to go ahead and half of 54 is what, 27, right? So I'm going to make a center line here so we can kind of try to keep our design symmetrical. And then this should be a square, so it should be another 27 here. So this is just a little grid to help us make our ship look nicer by symmetry. We done with the salvage? Let me check real quick. No, we still got a ways to go. Okay, so let's try to even this out a little bit and maybe extend our bridge forward so we have more room to build. 5. We don't necessarily have to build all this right now. Hey Veronica, how's it going? Good to see you. It's been a while. What you been up to? So we're just extending our bridge a little bit. And then let's try to make some kind of nice aesthetic here. It's going to be a little asymmetrical because we've got this airlock here. We can mitigate that a bit by building around the airlock on the outside here. I'll make like a little corridor for the crew to get around. And let's just see kind of how wide the extent of this is. So from the center line that goes out to 19. Let's make a similar formation on the other side. So this kind of just finishes out our little rectangle here. Life is draining, depression is draining, and school is draining. Oh, that sucks. She's having trouble with it on and off. She broke her foot brushing her teeth somehow, which is kind of like a sucky way to injure yourself. I don't know exactly. We think that it was probably like slightly fractured before, and it just suddenly kind of popped out of place when she was leaning on it. So it's hurting for her on and off. It's not ideal. She has a boot for it that like keeps it kind of stable, but it's not really like it's hopefully it'll get better over time, you know. It's only been a couple days, so but it hurts. She's having trouble with it, and she's very frustrated because it's hard for her to do stuff around the house when she can't walk as much, you know. Okay, this is a 4x5 area. Yeah, I know. She doesn't like to take it easy. She's like she's a very like I must work type of person. I have to be doing something productive at all times. So it's to take it easy. This is a very difficult struggle for her. So we're gonna go ahead and build. I'm just building enough room for another grow bed in the corner here for now. Eventually this is going to be another hyperdrive. And then we've got a little bit of a less crazy silhouette here. 5, 5. So this is eventually going to start to even out and look like something intentional that I designed. Yeah, I know. So you have enough hull blocks to finish this construction. Looks like we don't, probably. And we don't have any scrap either. Are we still salvaging hull scrap? We are a little bit. I'm going to queue more hull scrap for recycling in hopes that we get enough from our salvage here, but I don't think we will. Since we only have one away team right now, we could think about dismantling one of the shuttle bays to make more room, but let's try to avoid that if we can. It's going to waste our resources because we can't recycle the actual shuttle itself. I ordered from a local restaurant called Limestone Barbecue. I'm waiting for my order to come in, so I'm like so hungry right now. Alright, we did actually get the construction finished here. Let's go ahead and finish this wall because we have a door on this side already. We could fit another... yeah, it's gonna be good. Could fit another small storage back there and then maybe even another door here eventually. But for now, let's go ahead and put in our grow bed. Actually made this a little bit larger than it needs to be, so we could recycle a little bit of hull if we wanted to. Let's orient it this way so we have room for another one maybe in the future. We're doing kielbasa, potato pancakes, and sauerkraut for dinner. Ooh, that sounds good. So eventually gonna... extend this by 1. What do we need in terms of food right now? It looks like we're okay on vegetables. We could use a little more seeds and nuts and a little more fruit. Let's check what our production rules are right now. I do want to set a rule here so that we're not gonna overproduce food more than our crew actually needs. How many crew members do we have? We have 8. So let's go ahead. Let's go up to like 16 food production maximum. So I think that's like 2 days worth of food per crew member that we'll have in storage if we actually reach that level. I think the last time I had like really good kielbasa. Not even sure. It was probably before the pandemic. So maybe these other 3 beds open for meat growing. As soon as this research is done, which it's almost there. So this is also nice because we have 2 separate... Actually, let me grow 1 thing of each type in this room. I thought I just saw a message saying that a planter failed. Oh yeah, it's too cold in here. Let's get that fixed. I think we can put a thermal regulator... Let's put one right over next to the grow bed. We'll make this priority. Not that that makes a huge difference. Let's go ahead and... I don't remember who's on construction. Let's try to get this done, though. There we go. Okay, so as I was saying, we wanna start producing some vegetables over here. Oh, we're at low CO2. That's a different issue. So we actually need a CO2 producer in this room back here. I think that's under food. No. Sport. Do we have to research that? Let me check. We do. Oh, shoot. That's gonna be a problem. Okay, so maybe let's cancel our extra vegetable production. And maybe let's cancel our fruit production. So we're just producing one extra right now. So we're gonna have to research the CO2 producer before we get caught up with our nutrition here. So that's kind of unfortunate. Let's finish the artificial... Actually, you know what? The artificial meat research... Yeah, we'll do it. You could probably cancel one of these existing grow beds in order to grow the meat. Let's do that. Let's check our temperature in here now as well. 20 degrees is okay. I'd really rather have another thermal regulator in here, though. Oh, I thought that was going to be on the grid. Oh, it's just out. Let's move this over to here, rather than spending another power node. So as soon as the meat is done, we're gonna probably stop one of these vegetable beds and start producing meat instead. And then we're gonna start working on the CO2 production. So fortunately our plants aren't actually dying from lack of CO2, but we're kind of living on the edge here a little bit. Let's check our salvage. We're actually done salvaging, so we can leave the sector here. What's in this last sector in the back? Ice. We have some ice, but we could pick up some more. We're gonna want to produce more food, so ice is good to have. Hey, Luqui, how's it going? Yeah, it's not a super popular streaming game. Welcome to the stream. I'm also recording this for posting on YouTube for next week, so... let's see, we're still not ready to fight this Laborers Guild yet. We go back into the center system here. So we have 2 more satellite sectors left to explore before we head to the alien sector. And I'm hoping that that'll give us enough research time. Some kind of graphical glitch going on in the latest experimental build with these 2 nodes. Anyway, I was saying hopefully we'll have enough time to finish our weapons research and manufacturing before we hit the alien sector, because otherwise we're going to struggle there. Okay, we've got a nebula here. There's no resources there, though. This is a nice sector for us. We got energy and we got a derelict ship. Here we have a claimable ship. I think right now we actually want the derelict more because we have a big pile of tech blocks that we're sitting on and a big pile of energy blocks that we're sitting on. And what we really need is hull. So you can get hull from a derelict, but it's faster to get it from... Or rather, you can get hull from a claimable ship, but it's faster to get it from a derelict. Persephone, abandoned Slavers Guild ship, and we also have the Nereid to trade with. So let's trade with the Nereid. Now, they don't want plastic because they've got a bunch to sell to us. They do want chemicals, however. We have enough raw chemicals that we can sell them some of our chemicals, but not all. We could think about picking up some energy cells for the future, but I don't know that we necessarily need them right now. We could think about picking up more carbon, but we got a full supply of plastic at 25 carbon. So I don't think we actually need to buy anything from these guys. We might buy like 1 unit of meat if we stick around in the sector for a while. Let's ready our away team. Make it so #1. Been watching a lot of Star Trek Next Generation reruns recently. Normally I like to enter through breaches in the hull when I'm going to a derelict ship, but this breach is only 1 gap wide and I don't have any missile launchers to widen it with, so I think the airlock actually might be a safer bet, so it'll be easier to get my crew in there all at once. See what the situation is like. No enemies in the entrance. Been thinking of getting this game. What's your thoughts of it? I think I played more than 300 hours, so I'm getting a lot of replay value out of it. I like it a lot. The game's technically still in an alpha release stage, but they have a lot of, like it's a pretty full playable game already at this point. So I know they're planning to add some more features, like one of their Kickstarter stretch goals was like a mode where you can play as a commander of a space station and people will come to your station for trading and repairs and stuff. So they haven't implemented that yet. And there's a bunch of other cool features as well that are coming up, so. Shuttle hacked. Oh, the androids have forced my shuttle to move because they want to also dock here. We have an incoming solar flare, which is pretty dangerous. So yeah, if you have any specific questions about the game, I could probably answer them. I think the most fun of this game, though, like, there's definitely some action with, like, the boarding combats, especially if you're fighting against another ship from another faction. But I think the most fun of this game is just kind of like the mellow shipbuilding, sort of SimCity aspect. You can basically just design your ship to look like whatever you want and have whatever systems you want within the limitations that are imposed by the game. This needs to be docked somewhere that the crew can get on. Let's have it dock over here. Playing a lot of Factorio, so it's basically a little bit similar, but not at all. I've heard that Factorio is somewhat similar. I've never played it, though. We got some hull blocks. That's what we've been looking for a while, so that's pretty good. We also got a little bit of fertilizer, which is pretty rare, and a couple other blocks, and even some hyperfuel. So this is a pretty good find for us. And we're going to pick up some scrap as well, except for infra, because we have tons of it. In fact, we have so many infra blocks that we probably don't even need to pick up the infra scrap that we already have here. So we're going to turn off the transfer of infra scrap. Alright, I just heard my delivery order arrive, and it's getting towards the end of my lunch break, so I think I'm going to have to wrap up here for today. I want to say thank you very much for watching and hanging out and chatting, guys. And if you enjoyed the stream, don't forget to follow. And I will hopefully see you later. I'm going to be streaming Saturday evening on around 7, or sorry, not 7, like 8:30 or 9 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. It's more like building a factory and resource gathering to build a spaceship to get out of the planet. Yeah, maybe I'll check that out. Thanks. See if there's any other Space Haven streamers on we can raid. There used to be a guy that played Space Haven occasionally that I just raided all the time because his stream starts like right after my stream ends. But unfortunately, he had to change his schedule because of work stuff, so I'm not able to regularly raid him anymore. But we're gonna send a raid to Nigel A. Wait, he's not actually playing Space Haven. All right, we're gonna wrap up then. Have a good afternoon, and thanks for watching.